The Indiana Pacers are living in a contradiction. On the surface, everything looks broken. A team that reached Game 7 of the NBA Finals less than a year ago now owns one of the worst records in the league. Losses piled up, momentum vanished, and Tyrese Haliburton's Achilles injury ripped the heart out of the season. But underneath that chaos, something else happened. At the trade deadline, Indiana didn't fold. They didn't panic. They didn't tear it down. Instead, they made a move that signaled belief in the future, and Caitlin Clark noticed immediately. While fans were stuck on the present, Clark looked past the wreckage, jumped ahead a few seasons, and made a prediction that turned heads across Indiana basketball.
The Ivica Zubac trade wasn't about saving a lost year. Indiana has been bleeding in the paint ever since Miles Turner left. Patchwork centers, no physical anchor. Night after night, the same weakness kept getting exposed. Zubac changes that. He brings size, rebounding, and defensive stability, the kind of presence that doesn't show up in box scores, but shows up in playoff series. And just as important, he's under contract long enough to matter. This wasn't a rental. This wasn't desperation. It was a statement. The Pacers weren't fixing today. They were fixing what comes next. And that's why Caitlin Clark's reaction hit differently. She didn't see a team flailing. She saw a franchise correcting a mistake and aligning the pieces for something bigger.
Caitlin Clark isn't reacting like a frustrated fan. She's reacting like someone who understands windows. She's heading into her third WNBA season with the Indiana Fever, and by now she's as plugged into Indiana basketball as anyone. When the Zubac deal happened, Clark didn't focus on the standings. She focused on timing. Her 2027 prediction sounds bold only if you ignore context. The Pacers aren't drifting, they're positioning. Zubac fills a hole that's existed for years, and his timeline lines up with what truly matters: the return of Tyrese Haliburton and the chance to reset this roster properly. Clark sees a team that hit bottom, stopped the bleeding, and made a correction instead of blowing it up. That's not hope, that's logic.
There's no way around it. This season ended the moment Tyrese Haliburton went down. When he tore his Achilles, Indiana lost its engine. The pace disappeared, the creativity vanished, close games turned into losses, and suddenly, a finals team looked completely lost. That context matters. The Pacers didn't suddenly forget how to build a contender. They were forced into survival mode without their franchise player. Judging this roster without Haliburton is like judging a car without its engine. And that's why the Zubac trade matters so much. It tells you the organization expects Haliburton to come back strong, and they want the foundation ready when he does. A settled front court, defensive balance, structure around their star. Caitlin Clark understands that. Her belief isn't blind optimism. It's built on the assumption that when Haliburton returns, Indiana won't be starting over. They'll be ready.
At first glance, 2027 feels far away, but in the NBA, timelines move fast. Indiana already proved in 2025 that he can compete at the highest level. Add a healthy Tyrese Haliburton, a real center presence in Ivica Zubac, and a smart move or two, and the picture changes quickly. This season wasn't denial, it was a reset. The Pacers hit rock bottom, addressed their biggest flaw, and pointed themselves forward. Caitlin Clark's prediction isn't about ignoring the pain of now, it's about understanding what comes after it. When you look at the roster, the contracts, and the recovery timeline, 2027 stops sounding wild. It starts sounding possible. And sometimes, the clearest vision comes from someone willing to look past the standings.